Hey, it is Ludwin,
And Nick the intern.
and we're gonna walk you guys through this week's drop from De Bonne Facture, a French label helmed by Deborah Newberg. They have just a very, I don't know, practical approach, a very like refined, chic take on a lot of classic vintage workwear pieces and things that they find in nature. So, speaking of nature, we'll kick it off with the first piece here. It's what they've called the Naturalist shorts. It's kind of modeled after, like field researchers, bug catchers, people that would be out in the wilderness. They have like imagine like a tucked in like safari shirt and like a nice like big brimmed cap with a magnifying glass. That's the kind of guy that's wearing this. No, in particular, I think they believed it was like for botanists, so people out there studying plants. It's really just a really sweet, nice short. It's kind of the shape that I've been leaning into for a short. It has a pretty like snatched waist, clean top block with these pleats, and then it opens up to a wider leg opening. And especially in a cloth like this, it really holds that shape. It's a 100% cotton, like very fine, dense twill. So when I first felt it, I thought that it was like, I don't know, like a wool. It felt like a wool gab, really. It just has like a really fine, more luxurious feel than I'd expect for 100% cotton. But that's what you can expect from De Bonne Facture. They're making things super nice. Finished with their classic details of the horn button. We have one single back flat pocket. Yeah, just a very clean rear, clean front. I think this is going to be really good tucked in. You can see kind of on this mannequin, we kind of dress him up, very smart looking. But I'm also really into wearing it with like kind of a more boho feel with like an oversized knit and just kind of leaning into that bigger, wider shape that it creates up top. Especially in the summer, you can't ask for more. You can size your usual EU size and it's gonna fit good. Next up, we have the lounge shorts, which the lounge short is going to be a more or less a chopped version of the lounge pant, which is what I'm wearing here. So maybe it makes sense to talk about the lounge pant first. Let's do that. I'm gonna walk you through over here. So keep this in mind. We got shorts of them, but we also got pants. We also have pants. Sorry, Nick the intern. We've also got these pants. It's the lounge trouser. The lounge trouser is a shape that I believe they debuted last spring, summer. It's kind of an easy pants take on their classic balloon trouser. So the balloon trouser, as we know, it's kind of like a workwear shape that they just sculpted the leg to kind of have that semi-J shape, a curved little opening, and it tapers nicely at the leg. So just make a clean shape, but just look really nice and refined. This one that we have, the cloth is really special, I think. We've seen it last spring in a Belgian linen, but this time it's a linen wool in this really pretty in-between like gray and green color that they call almond green. And I think that just kind of is a reference to like the almond skin, like the outer coating of what you get when it's not like that brown toasty almond. It's pretty nice. It has these really like robust drawstrings, which I feel like you didn't see on the previous Easy Pants from De Bonne Facture, so that's really nice. Like just holding them in hand feels like substantial and good. I feel like that's what you want from a luxury product. But otherwise, yeah, the same details in the balloon pants. So you have the slash pockets, those two welted pockets on the back, and then a nice clean hem. I'm taking a size 52, my usual EU waist size, and I think it works out very, very nicely. So yeah, that's the lounge pant. But then we have the lounge shorts. As you know, I sneak previewed before, but we've got them both here in Belgian linen. This is going to be like the kind of like flagship De Bonne Facture color, the one that's not on the camera right now, this guy, the Arabica. This is kind of like their dark in between gray and brown, which is like something we've seen in like painters' jackets, I don't know, chore coats, pants, shorts, everything in between. So this is just an incredibly versatile color. I think it works really well. It's very, I feel like, rare to find a cool toned brown, and this is that, and it accomplishes a lot. And then, this nice mauve-y, purpley color, this is something that we're really into this spring, and we hope you all can appreciate it. You're gonna find it through a lot of brands, and it kind of just completes looks in a really, really nice way. You can see this mannequin behind our friend Nick. He's wearing like that purple short, but then it picks up the purple little cue from that Beams jacket that we dropped in one of the other videos. Please check that out. Kenshawn did an amazing job showing you all that. And yeah, so the sizing is going to be just about the same. So take your usual EU size. It's going to fit you the way you want. Has a nice open leg. And yeah, the same like heftier waistband and drawstring that we have on the lounge pant. Next up, we've got some shirts that I think Nick probably knows a decent about. What's up with these shirts, man?
Yeah, so this is going to be the painter shirt. It's going to be kind of like an oversized short sleeve, kind of summery, kind of sexy grandpa vibe, I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
say.
for sure.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's got the bellows pockets on the front, which I've never really seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a nice roomy fit. It's a nice comfy box pleat, little locker loop action.
Yeah, yeah, and but it's pretty sweet. Yeah, I feel like it's for summer. You see a lot of these more like relaxed, wider cut shirts. Kind of camp colors are kind of running amok. We like them. They work. But this guy, I feel like just it's doing something a little bit different,
Yeah.
but taking cues from that relaxed shape. You have a more pronounced straight collar. That I mean, honestly, it's like something you could like put a tie with. Really,
Oh,
it just is
absolutely.
really strong and pointy. So if you want to do like some summer dressing up, having fun, I know Nick is keen on this. I think you can make that work. And yeah, the Indian cloth that they have here, the madras, is like, yeah, tissue thin, really, really nice. You're going to get some nice breezes going on in this bad boy.
Absolutely.
Just really pretty jewel tones. Um,
We also have the white cotton voile.
voile, like voila,
Like
because it's a
voila.
French label.
Oh.
But voile,
Magnifique.
magnifique, Trey. So yeah, the cotton voile it just means it's a very, very fine cotton. So I mean, we probably could have called this also a voile, but I think this just another thing. This has a bit more substance to it. It's I feel like a very dense weave. It feels very fine in hand.
Almost mercerized.
Yeah, it does have like a very smooth, almost captures like a little bit of a sheen to it. So this I think is probably the more dressed up version of that madras one that we saw. And the off-white is really nice, like a nice rich warm tone that otherwise like an optic white kind of leaves you feeling a little too clean.
Yeah.
This, you don't mind bending down looking at that plant, smelling the flower, inspecting that beetle. What's that beetle? I don't know, but it's so nice, it's so shiny. You want to touch it. And it doesn't bite. You can let it walk on your hand. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna hurt you. So yeah, that's the shirt. I think it's pretty sweet. Yeah, right on, the painter shirt. And then next up we have some knits. Some of these are restocks from a previous season, which I believe would be this like plum burgundy color. It's gonna be in their honeycomb knit. This is something they've been doing for some time. We really love it. You all really love it. So why not just share this love once again? We have this kind of like tan beige ecru-ish color and then the burgundy plum kind of situation. The shape that they put on their honeycomb knits is pretty sweet. It's kind of like vintage inspired in how it is. The body is kind of cropped up. It has some pretty substantial ribbing here, but the sleeves remain like slightly elongated. So you get this kind of more, I don't know, you're moving a little bit different. It's not just the same full cropped everything. It doesn't look like it's too small on you. It's very intentional what they're doing, and it just has a really nice high taste level look to it, in my opinion. The honeycomb knit is very nice, plush, lofty almost. I feel like for a lot of summer knits, you're looking at something that's really lighter weight, almost see-through, whereas they kind of go the other direction and make it so that it's like so lofty that it's sitting off of your skin. So you're still getting a nice breeze with it. It's not too warm, too overbearing. Just, yeah, really nice detail. Take your usual size for the intended fit. You could size up for something a bit more relaxed. And that is the same to the t-shirt version of that. But I think calling it a t-shirt is probably a bit of a stretch. Yeah, sweater. It's more like a short sleeve sweater. You get the substantial crew neck with like that nice gapped ribbing there, along with the same ribbing details that you have on the honeycomb polo. This one I'd say is honestly a little bit more cropped than the polo. So this one I would actually just immediately advise size up for a proper fit if you want. It is going to be a cotton knit, so it's something that you could put in the machine in like a delicates bag and then air dry. And it should it'll shrink back up to the original shape, but as you wear it, it's going to have some give. That's just how cotton knits work, especially in something this springy and lofty. We only have the burgundy color, but that's just a really good color. I think it's going to pair well. I mean, look at this. Bam. That's crazy. Isn't this crazy? That's so easy, and you look so nice and clean and smooth. Or we could go back to that purple, that nice little hit of mauve. Now you're kind of existing in this tonal palette, and it makes both of these much more approachable colors. You could finish this with I don't know, the accents, accessories of your choice, like a black cap and shoes, or you could put a little neckerchief. Oh, speaking of neckerchief, you might want to inspect this one. I don't know how many of these we have left at this moment, but we are also selling this nice, beautiful springtime neckerchief bandana from the Bonne Facture. I'm actually gonna untie. It's just showing you the finished product, right? So you wear this, is how the colors go together. But there is a very pleasing motif going on here. I believe that it's taken from like ancient Jewish wedding contracts, is what Deborah described it as. And you can see it kind of blends like organic, natural motifs along with like some more folk art situations.
Turn it around. Show
Turn
them
it
the
over-
other side.
Sure, yeah, you can see the reverse. I think they probably look quite similar. It's a mirrored image, but yeah, it kind of has this beast of some sort. I was thinking lion, some were saying bull. It could be anything you want in between, with the sun and what we can imagine some person just peeking its eyes behind. So it could be eating, it could be hiding, it could be saying hello. I don't know, however you want to interpret it, but the colors are just really beautiful together, nice jewelry tones. I believe the Bonne Facture offered a couple other colors of this, but this is the only one that's sold out on their website currently. So if you want it, you got to pick it up from us. Yeah, and I guess that's really about it. That's what we got from the Bonne Facture. I'm Ludwin. That's Nick the intern.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.